Buon pomeriggio e benvenuti nella sala stampa di Montecitorio, che è parte del Parlamento italiano, come ricordavo prima a qualcuno che già era presente in sala, e vale a dire la Casa degli Italiani, il posto dove noi facciamo le leggi, perché in Italia l'Italia è una repubblica parlamentare, per cui le leggi devono essere per forza approvate dal Parlamento e poi entrano successivamente in vigore dopo la firma del Presidente della Repubblica. Benvenuti ai membri del Commonwealth Rome Club, e a tutti i membri e dal suo Presidente Edward Mura, che è qui a sinistra. Grazie per quello che fai e per l'impegno associativo che svolgi nella città di Roma. Benvenuti anche agli autorevoli ambasciatori ed ambasciatrici e a tutto il corpo diplomatico. Welcome in the Italian Parliament to celebrate the Commonwealth Day. It is the first time that you, I can say we, meet as Commonwealth in the Italian Parliament, and this means the attention that we have for your organization and activity. The world is changing, and it is important to build bridges that preserve values centered on the dignity of the person, as intended by the philosophers Emmanuel Mounier and Jacques Maritain. On these aspects, we are on the same side, and we are ready to face the great challenges of our time, such as those of peace, of technological change, like artificial intelligence, for example, which must always, I could say must, always have the human being at the center. We are called to organize development that is sustainable for our common home on a global level, a non-deferrable commitment that we can face together. Thanks for being here and happy Commonwealth Day. Also, I bring greetings from Honorable Porta, member of Foreign Affairs Committee, who is engaged in another mission in South America. Here we have an important representative of the Parliament, Honorable Caso, that is at the center of the table, of the floor, and Honorable Angelucci, that is the President of the Commission for International Issues for Rome. So I will give the floor to Honorable Angelucci for his greeting.
Buon pomeriggio a tutte e tutti. Good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you to celebrate the Commonwealth and all the countries that are a part of it. This organization represents a union of people, culture, and history, and is a virtual example of collaboration among states bound by the shared past that has led them to remain united, with a focus on the development and cooperation. These values are certainly shared by Italy and the international community, and they are certainly at the heart of the great challenges that the city of Rome is preparing to face, such as the Jubilee 2025, which represent a moment of encounter between different people and cultures, and precisely for the reason that administration will work in the name of the hospitality, sharing, and the cooperation. Thank you again to invitation. È un piacere per noi e per me essere qui oggi in rappresentanza della città di Roma. Porto i saluti del sindaco e di tutta l'amministrazione Roberto Gualtieri. Oggi insieme nell'evento organizzato con l'Associazione dei Paesi del Commonwealth, saluto il Presidente e tutti i relatori, a partire dall'onorevole Casu. Per noi, soprattutto in questa fase storica così importante che ci avvicina all'apertura dell'anno santo, del Giubileo, con l'apertura della Porta Santa da parte del Santo Padre nel 24 dicembre 2024, Roma sarà il centro del mondo, con l'arrivo di quasi 50 milioni di pellegrini, e quindi Roma, che è città aperta, inclusiva, forte di una storia importante e aperta a tutti gli aspetti culturali, diventa fondamentale e importante essere qui oggi e avere un rapporto costante con tutte le delegazioni internazionali, le ambasciate, i consolati, tutte le rappresentanze diplomatiche. Il dialogo per noi, per la nostra amministrazione, è un aspetto fondamentale e importante nell'agire, e quindi per noi oggi è molto importante essere qui, e quindi vi ringraziamo per l'invito e naturalmente per qualsiasi cosa noi siamo a disposizione. Grazie.
Thank you very much, Onorevole Angelucci. Being in Rome as diplomats, but also being in Rome as members of Commonwealth, means to interact with the administration, means to interact with the people that live in Rome, and to build together a sustainable city. So it is important the connection between your club, your international organization, and Rome, that is an international city that has connection with all the parts of the world. Here, Honorable Casu, that is also citizen of Rome, will give you the greeting of the Parliament, and we hope that is the first time being the first time of our meeting, it would be also other opportunity to discuss together about questions that are of our common interest. So the floor is yours, Mr. Casu.
Grazie davvero, welcome in Rome, welcome in Italian Parliament. È molto importante questo appuntamento, ringrazio veramente Gianni, Mariano per aver aperto i lavori. Io purtroppo dovrò essere presente ai lavori in aula, stiamo portando avanti la discussione di alcune mozioni importanti, ma ci tenevo, in rappresentanza anche di Fabio Porta, che voi conoscete, è parlamentare della Commissione Esteri ed è parlamentare italiano eletto all'estero. Noi nel Parlamento italiano eleggiamo rappresentanti delle comunità italiane in tutto il mondo. Essere qui per esprimere tutta la vicinanza ai vostri lavori e tutta la vostra vicinanza a questa giornata. Noi pensiamo che in questi momenti difficilissimi che stiamo attraversando, in un momento di crisi, in un momento di guerra, di guerre, sia fondamentale il rapporto fra i popoli, la democrazia parlamentare, la democrazia delle comunità, l'incontro fra le persone, il confronto. Lo diceva bene Mariano, il Giubileo del 2025 può essere una straordinaria occasione, un motore di incontri, di processi che ci possano portare verso la pace. E in questo percorso quello che voglio dire è che l'origine, siamo qui a parlare, diciamo, del futuro del Commonwealth, ma l'origine del Commonwealth, il nome stesso del Commonwealth, noi spesso non ci pensiamo, è un nome che dice tanto: Commonwealth, bene comune. È l'obiettivo che tutti dobbiamo avere. Ci sono stati sentieri della nostra storia che ci hanno portato a camminare a fianco, sentieri che sono stati opposti, ma l'obiettivo deve essere sempre quello di costruire un futuro di pace e il bene comune per tutte e per tutti, e tutti gli incontri che servono a confrontarsi su questo obiettivo sono incontri importanti. Grazie.
Thank you, Honorable Andrea Caso, grazie onorevole Caso, grazie Andrea e grazie per l'attenzione che hai verso questi temi e anche verso i temi della Roma internazionale. Ecco, questo è un momento importante, io non mi dilungo di più, ma ritengo veramente che la preparazione al Giubileo, che è un momento forte anche per chi non è credente, sia qualcosa che tocchi anche le comunità che sono a Roma e soprattutto in questo periodo in cui ci sono controversie internazionali che rischiano di mettere, di distruggere quello che è veramente il bene comune, rischiano di farci tornare indietro nel tempo. Ecco, noi dobbiamo essere impegnati veramente per mettere al centro la pace e la costruzione del bene comune. Quindi grazie dottor Mura per aver costruito questo incontro assieme a noi e ti cedo la parola.
Thank you very much, Gianni, for helping with the organisation of this event in this prestigious venue. From our records, the club's never been hosted in this venue, and we're also being transmitted live as we speak, or will be recorded and available on the House of Deputies website. I particularly obviously want to thank Honorable Andrea Caso for representing the House here today, and of course Honorable Porta for having arranged the venue. Honorable Porta happens to be the President of the bilateral parliamentary group in relation to one of our countries, Guyana. So his involvement was particularly relevant as one of those that deals with one of our countries. We also want to thank Roma Capitale for it's hosting us all the time with the Commonwealth Club of Rome, and we look forward to last year we did our Commonwealth Day event in Palazzo Valentini, the headquarters of the Rome, Metropolitan Rome, and we're looking for always to do more collaboration with Rome, our base.
Mr. Mura, for the registration, you should speak more closely.
Okay. Of course, we want to thank all our embassies for being here today. We have quite a few of our embassies here: Mozambique, Cameroon, Zambia, Canada, India, Lesotho, Zambia. Oh, sorry again. We have India, Malaysia, and I think if I've missed anybody, put your hands up. We have also many of our members here, President of the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce. We have our consuls from Namibia and Sierra Leone and Maldives. So Nigeria, I did, yeah, I hope I said Nigeria before. Apologies if I did. Obviously, we have the President of the Institute Cooperation of Foreign Countries, which is Gianni Lattanzio. And so thank you all for coming, thank you all for participating in the club, and thank you for contributing to this argument, this dialogue that the Commonwealth wants to have with Italy. And thank you again, Gianni, for inviting us to continue this dialogue over future months. This is a beginning of a dialogue that we can share with the House of Deputies and of Roma Capitale. Commonwealth Day. What can we say about Commonwealth Day? This year's theme is One Resilient Common Future. The theme underscores the collective strength that enables us to confront and overcome present challenges, emerging with resilience. This paves the way for a future where wealth isn't just widespread, but genuinely equitable. We have countries which are amongst the largest and smallest in the world. What binds us together is our shared values, and those include a commitment to ensuring stronger and stable governance, a more sustainable environment, robust economies, and societies that empower Commonwealth citizens. Having stated part of that, of our theme, we now move on to the messages from the Secretary-General of the Commonwealth. And let me just say here that with the passage from the Queen to His Majesty the King, there's been a change in procedure regarding these messages and the availability prior to our actual events. And in fact, the video of His Majesty the King cannot be actually shown. We're going to show it today, but it cannot be shown before 3:30, 4:30 our time, 3:30 London time. So we will do the Secretary-General's message first, and we thank Ambassador Vassalo for reading the Secretary-General's message. Ambassador Vassalo from Malta.
Thank you, grazie. Sono appena stato commissionato dal dottor Mura per leggere il messaggio dell'occasione. Commonwealth Day message from the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, Commonwealth Secretary General, with the theme One Resilient Common Future. Commonwealth Day is an occasion of pride and celebration and a moment for reflection. On taking office in 2016, I said that we face some of the most critical challenges that many of us have ever seen. In the same year, the Commonwealth Women's Forum pronounced that alone we are invisible, but together we are invincible. The experience of the last 8 years has borne that out. Intensifying global economic challenges, exacerbated by a devastating pandemic, and the tremors of conflicts beyond the Commonwealth are creating a hard reality for governments and citizens around the world. And the accelerating impacts of climate change are causing more frequent and devastating disasters, destroying lives and livelihoods and reversing years of hard-won progress. These crises interconnect, entwine and worsen one another, combining to amplify existing social, political and economic inequalities, and bring forward the tipping point for instability and conflict. It is into this crucible that the most profound and far-reaching technological advancement in the history of human civilization is unfolding. The reality of the world today, more connected yet more complex and challenged than ever, insists that we are dependent on each other. We work together or we suffer in isolation. In this context, facing challenges which are so intractable, so interconnected, so consequential and so far-reaching, our place within the Commonwealth offers us a genuine advantage. At a time of great strain across the multilateral system, the Commonwealth stands together, taking concrete steps towards the common good in every area. We helped each other through the pandemic. We work together to restore the natural world on land and ocean, to accelerate the transition to clean energy, to protect and empower women and young people, to transform the delivery of healthcare and education, to safeguard democracy, enhance justice, and build peace. That togetherness not only helps us deliver vital climate finance to our most vulnerable members, it enabled our landmark resolution on loss and damage, which helped to pave the way for global progress at COP28. Over the course of 75 years, our family of nations has grown in scale, strength, and experience. Our inbuilt relationships are unique and extraordinary, drawing together 1/3 of humanity across 5 continents and 6 oceans, with an astonishing diversity of thought, tradition and experience, and 1.5 billion people under the age of 30 years. By keeping our Commonwealth connection strong, we can defend our shared values and advance our shared interest, even in the most turbulent times. This is not an accident of history. Indeed, it is the consequence of our ability to confound history, bring independent, sovereign nations together in the modern world with an equal say, united by a special blend of high ideals, common interest, natural advantages, and joint action. And it is the result of rigorous and determined work to live up to the values and aspirations of our Charter, and our continuous efforts to deliver each of the mandates of heads of government have given to us. In pursuance of these mandates, our proven ability to innovate remains the engine of our collective progress, and the new tools which technology offers us can be powerful allies. The opportunities we are creating for governments and citizens, especially our young people, to understand, master and harness artificial intelligence is just one example. These opportunities do not enable economic advancement. They have the capacity to supercharge our response to the climate crisis and transform the delivery of public services across our 56 member states. I am determined that in keeping with our long tradition and global leadership, the Commonwealth will become the definitive home for the use of artificial horizon for the public good. I hold an unshakable belief in the value, power and potential of our Commonwealth family. That belief has only been strengthened by my experience as Secretary General. Together we have built a Commonwealth which is fit for the times we live in, stronger, more connected and more influential than ever, capable of rising to the world's challenges, innovating to seize new opportunities, and working together to shape a more peaceful, resilient and prosperous common future. On this Commonwealth Day, as we prepare to come together again as one Commonwealth family in Samoa for our Heads of Government meeting later this year, let us draw again from the wells of friendship and mutual respect, encouraging ourselves and inspiring each other to ever more profound depths of cooperation and greater heights of achievement. Thank you.
Just allow a little bit more time to run before we show the video. We will move on to the next point in our agenda, which is following the thank you very much, Ambassador, for having read that. And it's understandable that our Secretary General, after 8 years in the hot seat, has done a very complete message this year, and so thank you very much for having read that out. But on that point, this year is the new candidates for the Secretary General's role have been a couple have been announced so far, and they are Lesotho's candidate Joshua Foho Setipa, and the Ghana candidate Shirley Ayoko Bochwe. Mr. Setipa is currently working in the Commonwealth Secretariat, has a role in the Commonwealth Secretariat, and Shirley Ayoko Bochwe is the Foreign Minister of Ghana at the moment. Seeing this year in October at Samoa, there will be the election of the new Secretary General. There was an opportunity given to the countries of the two candidates to do a small presentation in relation to their candidatures, and so we're very pleased in relation to Lesotho has stepped up in that regard, and Ambassador Cecile Masabani, the Lesotho ambassador, will, if you come forward now and present the Lesotho candidate for Secretary General. Thank you, Ambassador.
Good evening, Your Excellencies, heads of diplomatic mission, members of parliament, and colleagues. It is a great pleasure to be here with you as we celebrate this Commonwealth Day. But I would like to add on the celebration from Lesotho that also it is our Mushashwe's Day. That's why I'm on this attire. I'm not on a diplomatic attire. We also like it coincides with the 200 years of Lesotho as we talk of this 2024. Your Excellencies, as you know every year on this date across Africa, Asia, the Caribbean and American and Pacific and Europe, we celebrate our Commonwealth. We celebrate this great association of 56 countries of equal, independent and sovereign countries that are bound together by their belief and commitment in the Commonwealth principles as enshrined in the Commonwealth Charter. This remarkable family of 56 nations representing 2.5 billion people across 5 continents and 2/3 of humanity in the largest grouping of countries outside of the United Nations. It is unique in that we are not bound by treaty law, but by a commitment to tirelessly work for prosperity, democracy, and peace. Your Excellencies, it is also important to note that this year also marks the 2nd anniversary of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth passing. Her tireless commitment to the Commonwealth was inspiring and continues to inspire us today. From 1966, Lesotho has been an active and committed member of the Commonwealth and continues to enjoy strong relations with all its Commonwealth partners. The Commonwealth has been our strongest partner even during our most difficult days. The Commonwealth has been steadfast in its commitment to Lesotho. Let us recall that it was Commonwealth that supported our return to democracy in 1993. It was the Commonwealth that supported our electoral reform that has brought us stability, and they continue to support us as we undertake our current reform of our Constitution. Excellencies, as a demonstration of our continued commitment to this family of nations, I'm happy to announce that Lesotho has nominated Mr. Joshua Poho Sitipa as a candidate for the position of the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. As most of you are aware, in October this year, Commonwealth heads of government will meet in Apia, Samoa, to elect successor to the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, KC, whose term of office will end next year after an outstanding service to our Commonwealth family. In line with the principle of regional rotation, it is African turn to offer credible candidates to be considered by our leaders. Mr. Stipa is an outstanding candidate with an extensive record of public service in Lesotho as a diplomat, as a former Minister of Trade and Industry, an international civil servant who has held high senior positions in the WTO and the World Bank and the United Nations. He is currently on leave of absence from the Commonwealth Secretariat in London, where he serves as a senior director. We have no doubt that your support as to the strongest candidate he will be an outstanding Secretary General. I therefore implore you to support our candidate and send a strong message to the world that the Commonwealth recognizes excellence irrespective of whether it's a big or a small country like Lesotho. After all, we are a family of equal and independent states. Before I conclude, I would like also to inform you that the Lesotho Commonwealth Business Chapter of Women in Lesotho, it is really passing the message of Commonwealth to those rural women in the country of Lesotho. I therefore wish also them to be also supported in their endeavors. I wish to end my remarks by wishing everybody one happy Commonwealth Day, Khotso Pula Nala.
Thank you, Ambassador Masaribani, for that presentation regarding the candidate of Lesotho. I think now we can safely say it's past 4:30, and we can play the King's message, video message. So, His Majesty the King.
The 75th anniversary of the Commonwealth is a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey that our unique family of free and independent nations has made since 1949. Last year, the Bahamas celebrated its 50th anniversary of independence, as Grenada has this year, and Papua New Guinea will next year. Each of these milestones, and many others like them, represent the fulfillment of countless aspirations and the achievement of such remarkable potential. And the Commonwealth's growth, with new members continuing to join our family of nations, demonstrates clearly that whilst we may not all have a shared history, we have common ambitions for a better future, working together to build resilience and respond to global challenges. The Commonwealth family is strongest when we are connected through friendship. As I've said before, the Commonwealth is like the wiring of a house, and its people, our energy, and our ideas are the current that runs through those wires. Together and individually, we are strengthened by sharing perspectives and experiences, and by offering and borrowing the myriad ways we have each tackled the challenges of our time. This is true both at the level of nations and indeed at the local level. We recognize today that our diversity is our greatest strength. The Commonwealth represents a third of humanity from all regions of the world, with all the different experiences, knowledge, and aspirations that this brings. Wherever we live, we are united by the many challenges we face, whether it be climate change, the loss of nature, or the social and economic changes that new technologies are bringing. Our diversity means that these challenges affect us all differently, and that we experience their impacts in different ways. Their seriousness, however, is common to each one of us. All of this means that we must work together to understand each other's perspectives, including the inequalities and injustices which still resonate to this day. We must find ways of healing and to support each other to pursue solutions. I cannot say often enough that it is by coming together that we create the best chances to improve our world and the lives of people everywhere. Indeed, over the years, countless people across the Commonwealth have been inspired to form their own Commonwealth associations, from lawyers and accountants to business and trade networks and many more besides. The work they do is absolutely vital, sharing professional knowledge, experience, and expertise across the continents for the betterment of each one of us. The Commonwealth, above all, retains a particular focus on our young people, who make up 2/3 of the entire Commonwealth population. Whether in Kenya or Malaysia, Vanuatu or Dominica, Malta or Canada, I never cease to be impressed by their creativity, innovative skills, and hard work, often in the most challenging circumstances. Their energy is transforming approaches to development, technology, and preserving and restoring nature, and will, I hope, help to shape and safeguard our common future. Having recently celebrated my own 75th birthday, it warms my heart to reflect on the way the Commonwealth has been a constant throughout my own life, a precious source of strength, inspiration, and pride. In recent weeks, I have been most deeply touched by your wonderfully kind and thoughtful good wishes for my health, and in return, can only continue to serve you to the best of my ability throughout the Commonwealth. My belief in our shared endeavours and in the potential of our people remains as sure and strong as it has ever been. I have no doubt that we will continue to support one another across the Commonwealth as together we continue this vital journey.
I'm sure we all join in with all those that wished His Majesty well in his health, and especially having in those circumstances that he's put together this message, which is a very nice message to us all. Now we're at a state. We're going to do now. I'm going to mention a few things about the club and activities this year, and update and a couple updates. And but there's also some time for any questions that anybody would like to have. So I'll start, but at any stage, if somebody has a comment or would like to say something, they could possibly just put up their hand. So the first update is in relation to the British school. We've entered into a dialogue with the British school, which is here in Rome. I don't know if you all know it. It's just behind Villa Borghese. It's a great venue. We have had discussions with the director of the British School, Abigail Brunden, and in relation to collaboration with Commonwealth countries. So it's actually part of its original mandate that the British School serve the Commonwealth or work with the Commonwealth. And in fact, they've got that on their objective this year to increase that aspect of their work in Rome. So from the director herself, she says that the BSR has awards in humanities, fine arts and architecture opportunities in Rome, which are also open to Commonwealth applicants across the board, and that they also have some specific funded opportunities in architecture and fine arts in Canada and Australia. So these are some opportunities that they'd like to share with the Commonwealth family. So we're going to be working on how we develop this collaboration in the next few months. So keep in touch with us about that. I'll take this opportunity to thank Honourable Angelucci for his participation today. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Other activities of ours this year, we've got another event coming up very shortly to do with Commonwealth in Italy, but this is in relation to business opportunities, and this is going to be held in the Senate. So we go from the House to the Senate on 12th of April. We're doing that event with the Senator Jacobi, who represents 130 countries, the Italians in 130 countries, some 38 of which are Commonwealth countries, ranging from Africa, Asia, Oceania, Antarctica. So that's our next event on 12th of April. We are working on some collaborations with the British Chamber. Any other chambers are welcome to come forward and indicate that they want to collaborate with the club. We have some ideas about collaboration in relation to G7, seeing Italy's president of the G7 this year. So there will be some opportunities in relation to that. But mentioning this, if any of the embassies have any ideas, you know, that's our common working together may bring us obviously more opportunities than, well, obviously we can seek opportunities on our own, but just remember there's this other platform, you know, where we can work together on some of these issues that maybe we struggle to get the support on our own countries. We've also got coming up our Commonwealth. We've got this year cricket was, or towards the end of last year, cricket was accepted as a Olympic sport. So together with the Italian Cricket Federation, we're going to be inviting all our embassies to participate in an event on the 6th of June, together with some Italian dignitaries who are supporting cricket in Italy, and we'll keep you posted about that. But that there may also be a game of cricket with the British military cricket team, which is represented has their president in Italy at the moment, and who is collaborating on this event. We have our Commonwealth Cricket Cup in September. Of course, Chogam in Samoa in October. And last but not least, in terms of things to keep in mind, there is some discussion still at the moment about where our Commonwealth Games will be held for 2026. I understand Malaysia is discussing the possibility of possibly holding it. Australia was holding the event, but its budget went out of control, and subsequently there is a little bit of activity going on to try to maintain the Commonwealth Games. So, we normally try to follow Commonwealth Games. We've had several events with the club when countries host the Commonwealth Games. It'll be interesting to see where this actually ends up. Well, that's basically what we had to do today on our agenda. If there's any matters that any of our members or embassies would like to raise in terms of either Commonwealth Day or our activities for the rest of the year, or in relation to the House of Deputies, or anyone?
Just a question on the Commonwealth Games. So we're still not sure whether this will be heard or not, because Malaysia has yet to give a reply, or?
Yeah, apparently there are several countries. I think some Australian states are trying to put together an option Malaysia, there has been talk about Malaysia running a proposal through its parliament or through some committee. But at the moment, it's one of those things that has been around for many years, but we just need to see whether, in what form it's going to continue, at least for 2026, because the deadline is approaching. There are some 74 countries or territories registered to the Commonwealth Games. So some of our members have more territories that are independently represented in the games. But so it's very strongly supported. 74 different territories who send teams. You know, obviously UK sends 4 teams, plus the territories that send teams. Any country has any idea to send back home and keep this tradition going, it would be good to see. Any other questions? Well, again, we'd like to thank everybody for coming today. Commonwealth Day, last year we did, as we said before, we did it in the Rome Metropolitan's Sala Consigliere. We were able to have more people last year, but this year, you know, we've come to the House of Deputies, and I think we should feel very pleased that the House of Deputies received us and has offered an invitation to continue dialogue with us as a Commonwealth body. So the club is there for amalgamating ideas and things. Again, thanks to all our ambassadors, Ambassador Goldberg, Ambassador Masabani, Ambassador Basolo, Ambassador Alvaro, for coming, and the various deputies that are here today, in Sharjah from Nigeria, deputy from Cameroon and Malaysia. We have our representative from the Indian Embassy, and again our consuls, our various chambers of commerce that are involved with the club. There was a British chamber was coming today, but they were on a flight, and I just got a message that they were delayed on their flight from London. So otherwise we would have had the British Chamber here, who we are, as I said before, doing a collaboration this year to try to do some events in Rome, Commonwealth Club British Chamber. But the same way as in relation to the candidates for Secretary General, the club offered to both candidates the opportunity to speak today, and we thank again Ambassador Masabani for speaking on behalf of Lesotho. When we do things with one chamber, it's only because that chamber's come forward, but we'll work with the chambers of all our members to do events. So thanks again for coming, and we look forward to seeing you, if not earlier, we look forward to seeing you on the 12th of April at the Senate meeting that we're having with Senator Jacobi. Thank you. Thanks again for coming.
Grazie a tutti e arrivederci al prossimo incontro. Ecco, io voglio ringraziare anche le persone che ci hanno seguito attraverso la web TV della Camera dei Deputati. Per ragioni di tempo non c'è stata una traduzione, perché sennò sarebbe durato il doppio ovviamente, però voglio ricordare che questo incontro è sul sito della Camera dei Deputati, quindi è parte di questo contesto, e potete rivederlo entro 15 giorni e scaricarlo, ciascuno di voi, i paesi, inviarlo e quindi scaricarlo sul computer. Ecco, insomma, bisogna integrare un po' i linguaggi. Siamo stati felici di ospitarvi e scusateci se non abbiamo preso in considerazione l'opportunità di fare le traduzioni che ovviamente, ma per questioni di tempo, ripeto, avrebbero ci avrebbero fatto sforare. I temi sono tanti, l'importante è che c'è la volontà etica, prima di tutto, che politica. It is important that we have the ethic volunteer, the politic convincement that we can act in each part of the world and all together for the common good. Thank you very much e un caro saluto a tutti gli amici che ci hanno seguito attraverso la web TV della Camera, sia in Italia che all'estero. Thank you to everybody.
And thank you to Gianni Lattanzio, Secretary General, Institute of Cooperation Foreign Countries, and of course again to Honourable Andrea Casu and Mariano Angelucci. Maybe we've got a few more minutes before we'll be asked to leave. Can we all come up for a family photo before we go?